Now.
Okay.
All right. Since it's recording. So first and foremost, let's start off. What do you do in the water utilities industry?
Myself, I am the backhoe operator. I work in the distribution department. We replace water main. I mean, we repair water main breaks. We install new mains. We install new services. And I'm also the union president.
Oh, wow. Nice. What are the goals of this career or the job that you do?
The goals of my career.
Yeah.
Um, well, I've only got a few more years to go before I retire. But I mean, my goals were just to to better myself and just to enhance what I can for the company as far as my performance.
Nice. Um, for you, how has the work life experience been?
There's been highs and lows. When I first started here, safety was not an issue.
Hmm.
They had us doing things that nowadays they would not ever have us do.
Hmm.
So we safety has been a huge push in the last 10 years.
Hmm.
But most part, I wouldn't have been here for this long if it wasn't a good place to work.
Nice. Um, do you generally work a lot of hours, or is the amount fairly reasonable?
It depends. There's a lot of overtime if you want to work overtime. If you don't want to work overtime, you can put it in your 40 and, as we say it, put in your 8 and hit the gate. But but there are many folks that work lots and lots of hours of overtime.
Oh.
I used to do that when I was younger.
Uh-huh.
Now, as you can tell by my hair, it's gray and my beard is gray. I try and do the 8 and hit the gate.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Um, let's see. Are there any internships and or apprenticeships are usually offered specifically for this union?
Uh, no, but there is one through our national. They do have an internship to train people. They're focusing on people like yourself and also veterans coming out of the military. So the UWA does have an internship for training people. Here locally, no, we do not. We will have like temporary workers,
Mhm.
but not really an internship. So
All right. Um, what educational background do people in this career generally have?
uh, I would say about 80%. I don't know. I can't tell you. I mean, we have 67 union employees, and then we have about 100 employees totally here in the Monterey district.
Uh-huh.
And the other 33 are either admins or supervisors or higher up.
Mhm.
Um, the majority of the union employees, I would say 80% are high school grads. That's it.
Oh.
But and then also the lower divisions in the management, which are the supervisors, the frontline supervisors. Many of them actually came from the union.
Oh. Did they make their way up? Or like,
Well, actually, there's not a promotional area here. What it
uh-huh.
is here is that they'll post a position, and then you'll apply for it just like you were an external person, but they
Uh-huh.
know that you worked for the company, so you're obviously going to be the front runner, and you can get it. So I mean, like let me see, one, two, four of our supervisors were all union members at one time.
Oh.
But the higher one, no, actually the superintendent and the ops manager, which are way higher up, they were also union members. So a lot of the management has actually came from union, but it's not so much giving promotion because we are a union based company.
Mhm.
So we have our union scale, our union people, and then once you go to management, obviously you have no more backing of the union as far as discipline and stuff like that. So some people are hesitant to leave the union, and
Uh-huh.
then some people are willing to go for it. So,
Oh, that's really interesting. Never knew that before.
yep.
Um,
Well,
so,
see, like I said, we're a union house. So a
Mhm.
lot of people like the backing of the union. They like that we bargain for them, collective bargaining for them.
Mhm.
And they have the backing of the union when it comes to discipline. Where obviously, if you're in a non-union house, they could terminate you at any time. Where here we have steps that they have to go through, which we've set guidelines on. Like I said, I'm the union president,
Mhm.
and so I know all about the union. I know all about the company pretty much.
Oh, wow. All right. Let's move on to the next question. How I remember earlier that you mentioned that your goals for this career was to better yourself, or something along the lines of bettering yourself as a person. So I'd like to follow along or follow up and ask, how has this career changed you as a person?
Well, it put a roof over my head and food on the table. Um, I'm sorry, I'm making light of it. I mean, I don't know about bettering myself. I mean, I've always been a hard worker. I've been a hard worker since I was 16 years old.
Mhm.
But that's a tough one, really. I think I was a good person to start. So as far as the company bettering myself, I think I've done more for the company than they've done for me.
Wow. Has it fostered any new traits in you? Like added any new personality traits?
Um, well, I mean, I used to be very quiet person, very reserved.
Hmm.
Um, and then like within the last 6 years, I got kind of asked to be the president of the union, which I've now become way more vocal than before. I used to have a fear of talking in front of people. I
Hmm.
used to hate that. This is my first interview, by the way, ever.
Oh, really?
Yes, I've never had an interview in my life.
Oh my. Wow.
So this is my first one. So this, I'm like, bear with me.
You're doing
Um,
great, Andy. You're doing great.
well, I'm just trying to be open. I'm just trying to be open.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah. So, God, what was your question again?
Um,
I got off track. I got off track.
no worries. No worries. So how do you think this career has this career fostered any new traits in you?
Well, like I said, yeah, it's. I think more so being the union president, if that makes sense. Like I said, we're a union shop, so it's like two sides. You've got the management side, and you have the union side,
Mhm.
and we do what we're asked to do,
Mhm.
and I think that as far as the company traits, no, I've always been a good employee. I've never caused any trouble.
Mhm.
So, I mean, as personally, I can't say it. The company has by any way. I'm sure other people could say something different, but
Uh-huh.
myself, no, no.
All right. Moving on to the next question. How does the pay vary from job to job within the waters utilities industry?
Well, I can only speak for our company here locally.
Mhm.
The entry level, which is normally the customer uh, teller person, that's the one
Mhm.
who sits at the office. Well, before COVID, and
Mhm.
would take up bill, payments in at the counter at the window. That starts that like $30 an hour, and you go all the way to the top of a wastewater foreman. That's about 47 to 48. But the average range for most people are between 36 and 40,
Oh, all
with a
right.
lot of overtime if you want it. We have
Or
some
else
we
it's,
have we have some union employees that are making $200,000 a year.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, but they're out there, they're out there working, a lot of overtime. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's a good pay, great benefits.
Mhm. Um, do you think this is a stable career or like a career that people can hold on to many years for without worry?
Like I said, I've been here going on 38 years. A lot of the guys that I work with in my department are all over 30 years in
Uh-huh.
the department.
Uh-huh.
I actually, my daughter just started uh, 8 months ago in the customer service department,
Oh,
and she wants to be here forever. So yes, it's a great company to work for.
all right. So, how do you think I could get started or anyone could get started in this career?
Well, if you want to get into the water industry, there's certain certifications that will be beneficial if you want to get on, and they're called a distribution uh, certification. These are all through the State Water Resources Control Board.
Mhm.
Okay, there's a distribution grade and a treatment grade, and
Mhm.
if you get those, you can get those without working for a water company. If you can get those once you apply for a company, you have a very good odds of being hired over somebody else that doesn't have the grades.
Oh, all right. Moving on to the last question. Is there anything else you think is important for someone else to know who's interested in pursuing this career?
Well, you know what? One thing I will say is like during this COVID, none of us have been laid off.
Wow.
Okay, it's a very stable job. A lot of people that worked in the office are now able to work remote from home.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Myself, like I said, I'm a backhoe operator, so I
Hmm.
have to be out in the field.
Hmm.
Um, I would say 90% of us have to be out in the field. So obviously with the COVID, very secure job,
Hmm.
great benefits, good pay.
Hmm.
And if you want to make a lot of money, you can make a lot of money, or you can do your 8 and hit the gate. So I would recommend it for anybody that, my daughter did do 4 years of college
Hmm.
to be a psychiatrist.
Hmm.
And she spent a lot of money going to college, and she ended up coming here because some of those fields, it's like it's hard to get a position or whatever. And she got hired on, and she's still employed through all this COVID.
Wow.
So I think somebody that really doesn't want to go through college, that's
Hmm.
a hard worker,
Hmm.
I think a water industry is a great place to start. And you can definitely make a career out of it. I've got a great retirement coming up.
Hmm.
I got great benefits.
Hmm.
I got good pay.
Hmm.
And like I said, I'm union. Not all water companies are union.
Right.
Okay, you have a little bit of protection when you're a union employee. And
Hmm.
me being the president, I have a little bit more. Um, but no, I would recommend this for anybody that is not the study type. Listen, I barely graduated high school in 1980.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
but I busted my butt, and then I made it through almost 38 years here. So you know what? If somebody's not the college student type of person that likes to go to school,
Hmm.
I would definitely recommend a career like this. And I think that goes for also any utility company,
Right.
not just water, but even gas, electric, whatever. I mean, most of them are we're all unions. And like I said, if you're not a student that likes to go to college or wants to go to college and doesn't want to spend $200,000 in loans that you pay back for the first half of your career, then I would definitely recommend joining a utility.
That sounds amazing. You mentioned earlier that there are great benefits. Could you elaborate on like what the benefits are?
We have great dental, health,
Uh-huh. Hmm.
um, vision,
Uh-huh.
um, 401k,
Uh-huh.
401, I mean, a Roth.
Hmm.
We have stock options at a discount for our company,
Wow.
a 15% discount on the stock options.
Hmm.
Um, we have a lot of vacation,
Uh-huh.
sick time.
Hmm.
Uh, they're not the best, but they're pretty darn good. Pretty darn good.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that's why I've been here so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you get 10 days of vacation um, as soon as you start. Within 3 months, once you pass your little probationary period, you get 10 days of vacation and 10 days of sick time.
Sounds like the dream.
Well, you know what? Like I said, if you're not the type of person, see, I've always been a hands-on person. I've
Hmm.
always liked working with my hands. I
Hmm.
grew up with that with my father. My father was a contractor, so I did a lot of work around the house with him and things like that.
Hmm.
So, oh, there goes a fire truck. Um, yeah, so I've always been a hands-on person. I was never a student, never a good student. Like I said, I barely graduated high school, and
Hmm.
but that doesn't mean you're stupid. It doesn't mean you can't work hard. And you know what? I all of a sudden I've been here for so long, and I'm the union president. Okay, and I'm dealing with these corporations because American Water is a big corporate. I mean, like I said, they're throughout the state, and we're the only company that's on the American stock market. We are actually on the S&P 500.
Whoa.
We are part of the S&P 500. It's under American Waterworks, and so we are large. And I actually, being now the union president, I actually go to labor management meetings that have the CEOs there. So I went from barely a high school grad to a great job, and now the union president. And they respect me, and I respect them because they treat me well, and they treat their employees very well. But now I'm only talking about my company. Okay. Other companies are different. I've heard of other water companies that aren't as good as our company, but our company has really stepped up during this COVID. They've really, safety is number one in our books. I'm actually a safety lead. I have like 17 hats I wear. Okay. I have hats everywhere. So I'm actually a safety lead. So I do safety training. They send me out of town to do classes for safety training. So yeah, I would definitely, like I said, if you're not the college student type of person, I would definitely say the utility is a good place to go.
Wow. All right. Well, I think that's all the questions I have for, those are all the questions I have for you today, Andy. I'd like to thank you once again for taking your time to be a part of this. And thank you for your elaborate responses. Me and my peers are definitely going to learn a lot from this. I never knew anything about the Water Utilities Union until today, and it sounds amazing, honestly.
It is. It's like I said, I wouldn't have been here this long if it wasn't. And things have really progressed. Like I said, safety wise, everything, benefits, pay, everything. I mean, like I said, if you're making, $40 an hour, you're making that your base pay is 80,000, right? That's your base. And then any kind of overtime, and they pay us overtime right after 8 hours. They pay us double time after 12 hours. So we can easily add up. We have people that make between $150,000 and $200,000 a year as high school educated union employees.
Wow.
So I would say, pass that on to your colleagues. If you're not a college type person, you look like a college type person to me. You do. Let me see your hands. Are they soft?
I have a bit of calluses, but that's only for like pull-up bars. No hard work.
All right. I'm just teasing with you, man. I'm just trying to have fun. Just trying to have fun. Yeah. No, you're more than welcome. I'm glad you guys had me join your interview here. So
yeah, thank you very much, Andy.
No problem.
I think that's all.
Okay.
All right. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day and stay safe out there.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Andy.
Okay. Bye.